Rishi Sunak suffered a massive blow to his authority tonight over his Rwanda Bill, with Deputy Party Chairman Lee Anderson indicating that he will vote for 2 amendments that could derail the Prime Minister's migration legislation. And senior Tory MP Brendan Clark-Smith has tonight also declared that he will be joining the growing rebellion and voting for the amendments. I'm joined now by the 2 men themselves, Deputy Tory Party Chairman Lee Anderson and Brendan Clark-Smith. Chaps, thank you very, very much. Lee, I've got to ask, are you going to resign?
Well, it's not. This is not a rebellion, Patrick. This is about making sure that the bill is beefed up a little bit. Look, Brendan and I both agree with pretty much 90% of this Rwanda bill. We just feel that there's a few areas in the bill that could be strengthened to make sure that it's watertight. And let's not forget, we're less than a year away from a general election now. And the last thing I want over there is a Labour lot coming in and repealing the Rwanda scheme and opening the borders to 100,000 odd illegal migrants a year, which they will do if they sign up to any EU sort of deal. So this is not about us rebelling. It's about us saying, you know what, the bill, most of it is satisfactory. We just need to beef it up a little bit to close all those loopholes and make sure that people can't come over here and break into our country and use spurious claims to get off the hook. That's what it's about, Patrick.
OK, look, Brendan, I know your role, as far as I'm aware, is kind of almost like a deputy to Lee. Is that right? I mean, are you planning on going anywhere?
No. Is it?
Go on.
Yeah, I mean, we're both deputy chairs of the party, so obviously that's representing the Conservative Party, not just the Parliamentary Party as well. We have our members, and of course we've got our constituencies, as well, that we represent as well.
Yeah, look, it's difficult, Brendan. Look, I think a lot of people, a lot of GB News viewers definitely will be admiring your courage. They think that the Rwanda plan as it stands is unworkable, and they'll be saying, you know, good on you for standing up against it. But if this does mean that Rishi Sunak goes down to a rebellion on this, it is difficult, Brendan, to see how you two stay in post, no?
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't view it like that. What I'd actually say, Patrick, we've got 2 days that are coming up to debate this bill. This is incredibly important, which is why you see not just Lee and I, but our colleagues as well, who we all have opinions on this bill, because we want to make it work. We want to see those planes take off. People talk about different wings of the party and so on. But everybody, you know, we voted for this bill before. We voted for the second reading. We've got it through to this stage. People want to see it work. Now, you will have different opinions on how that will work. You'll have different opinions on what should happen with appeals. You'll have different opinions on what should happen with numbers and so on, and what happens after that. But the fact of the matter is that we are pretty much the only game in town to actually trying to make something happen. Now, we've been fighting against the Labour Party since we became MPs here. They've voted 70, 80 odd times against all the legislation that we've tried to put through. And it's not just asylum seekers. We've had foreign national offenders who've committed some quite heinous crimes. We have Labour MPs signing letters stopping planes on the tarmac from taking these people back. So what we all actually agree on is that we want to make this work. We just want to beef it up a bit, as Lee's actually said. So we've put our little sort of...
well, yeah, we've signed the amendments, Patrick. Yeah, and it's vitally important this legislation works. You know, there was a poll out today where I think it was 55.5% of residents in Ashfield, constituents should I say, actually think that people arriving here illegally on small boats should be removed straight away. I cannot ignore that, Patrick. I hate it when I see people making these spurious claims, getting legal aid, you know, going round and round, making different excuses why they should stop in this country. Look, the solution is quite simple to me. If you don't want to go to Rwanda, then don't come to this country. It's that simple. And there's talk about, you know, being sacked and resignation and all this. The most important thing for me is not my role as a deputy chair. The most important thing for me is making sure this legislation works, and I speak on behalf of the people of Ashfield.
So you,
Brendan, on behalf of the people
would. I'm going to ask this question to both of you. I'm going to ask a question to both of you. Brendan, I'll start with you. Look, would you just take it on the chin then if Rishi Sunak sacks you over this?
Well, it's perfectly fine. Of course, we have things where you're expected to support me. well, you know, I managed to hold for 3 days before. But, yeah, but I mean, the fact of the matter is we all want to make this legislation work. And sometimes you have to say what's in your heart. Sometimes you have to say what you think is going to make that legislation better. Now, of course, you know, we want the government to succeed with this. This is part of our role as well as parliamentarians, and we're very, very keen at this. And really, it's not about me, it's not about Lee or anything. What it is about is those people at home that are sick and tired of seeing people cheat our system, genuine asylum seekers not actually being able to be dealt with because you have the economic migrants who are cheating that system. Labour Party have open borders completely. So you know what? We're not bothered about roles. We just want to make this work, and that's what this is all about, Patrick.
And all right, Lee, I will ask that to you, but also just finally as well, Lee, I mean, to be pretty clear then, as it currently stands, you do not think that this version of the Rwanda Bill is actually going to work. It does beg the question, why on earth is Rishi Sunak going ahead with this? I mean, why is he banging his head against the wall when he's got people like you telling him that the public are telling him to do something different?
I don't think it's strong enough.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's strong enough, Patrick. You know, the fact that my argument's been today, since this bill was introduced, is that, you know, I'm of the mind that nobody who enters this country illegally, and I mean absolutely nobody arriving here on a small boat, should be allowed to claim asylum. Look, if they're that bothered about going to Rwanda, then France is a perfectly safe country, just like the other 6 or 7 countries that they've passed through. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Nobody should be allowed to claim asylum to go on a small boat. That's my opinion.
OK, fine. No, that's fine. Look, Brendan, then, if these amendments don't go through, you will have to vote against the bill, no?
Well, not necessarily. It depends, really. I think we have to weigh that up at the time, and we're going to have a lot of debate between now and then. We hope that these things are taken in board, and at the end of the day, as I think what the government would certainly say, is that this is still the strongest piece of legislation that's come through here. We are the only show in town in terms of wanting to actually get these things stopped, and then if the legislation goes through as it is, Lee and I have just said how we think it could be improved, but if it does go through, we want to see that legislation work, and we want to see those planes taking off, Patrick.
All right, look, both of you, thank you very much for rushing out of that big building behind you and standing out in the cold College Green for us. We do appreciate it, so thank you very, very much. As Deputy Tory Chairman, Lee Anderson and Brendan Clark-Smith. Brendan, I demoted him there. Sorry, mate. Right.
Yeah, look,